Hello and welcome to In the Name of the Moon, I Will Punish You. Ooh. Shut up, there's an intro. Yeah, get it. Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon. Oh dang! Okay, all right. This is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon for the Sega Genesis. Duh. Actually, you know what? Let's play as Mars. I was gonna pick Venus because, like, duh. But you know what? Let's play as Mars. I love him. I love all of them. Here we go. Oh? Sailor Moon Stage 1, Juban Shopping District. Something feels off. I, Sailor Mars, will take down you Yuma in one hit. Okay. What's this button do? Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward beat 'em up. This is for the Sega Genesis. This game actually never came out, I don't think, in the States. This was Japan only. I'm playing a translated version that someone did. Because, I mean, in beat 'em ups, realistically, you don't really need the story part. Because it's just, it's like, go from A to B and, defeat enemy. But I figured because it's Sailor Moon and, I don't know. If I found a translated version, so I was like, I'll play that. And yeah, I've done Sailor Moon games in the past here. I did a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. God, it's been a while. With Alyssa. It was during the pandemic, so it was 2020. So yeah, it was like 3 years ago. We did Sailor Moon for the arcade, which looks a million times better than this, but it's because it was an arcade game. But that game had beautiful art, all around, just top tier, amazing. Gameplay was pretty simple, but visually it was just oh my god, it is so pretty. This game it's a Sega Genesis game, so it's not going to be as visually impressive, but I will say the sprite is really large for a home game, which is pretty impressive in itself. But then also it has voice samples, which is not a common thing for a lot of games of this era. Ooh, am I gonna transform? Oh no. Wait, I am transformed. Oh, what the? What is this? Creature, get out of here. Well, I guess he did. He did indeed get out of here. But I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means. And one thing I always have to remind myself is when I think of 16-bit games, I always think of the Super Nintendo and how that looked. But the Super Nintendo has the color palette is way more expanded than it is on the Genesis. So it's kind of a hard comparison to draw between the two, because the Super Nintendo is technically a superior console in terms of the actual console's capabilities, but this does not look bad at all, and I don't feel it's oh man, if this console had more colors it would look better, no, it looks perfectly fine. This is a very long elevator scene. Super long, actually. Yeah, it's a little going on for a little. It's getting a little old, but yeah, like I said, I mean, my main thing is just this game looks good, and it's got voice samples, which I think is neat. And I don't know, I was looking at what should I play, and I was you know what? We did the Sailor Moon arcade game. I feel like we did another Sailor Moon game, but maybe I'm just losing my mind. Maybe no. there's a Super Nintendo RPG that I was planning on doing, but it's just like it involves like just doing a bunch of voices, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Who are you? So you've come to Sailor Moon? Oh wait, you're Sailor Mars. How dare you mistake me for that klutz? Yeah, you tell him. In the name of Mars, I will chastise you. Huh? The department stores where normal folk go to unwind. Sailor Moon, make short work of this hideous Yuma. I'm not Sailor Moon. We just had this conversation. Yuma, is that like this demon or something? Huh. I feel like there was a... I'd have to look, but I feel like we did a fighting game. Like, where you... Yeah, because I remember there's like a fighting game and like you can play as Sailor Pluto. And Alyssa played as Pluto. So I wonder if we... I don't know if we recorded that or not, actually. Huh, I'm curious. But yeah, I was like, I like Sailor Moon. And they're coming out with a new movie, I think. So... You know... Sailor Mars. She's so angry. Better be a C rank. Episode 2. Oh. Dreamland. It's just like Kirby shows up. The amusement park where dreams come true. Oh. I won't let you, Yuma, overrun this place. I feel like Yuma's something else. Feel the flame that burns at 10 billion degrees Celsius. Oh! Hush, you. What's this bird? Also, like... Oh, what the hell was that? What is that move I just learned? I'm not a huge fan of Chibiusa. Like, she has her moments in like the show and stuff when she comes out, and you know, like this and the other. And I get it. You know, they wanted like a small little one, but I don't know. Like, I feel like when I think it was the movie with like the clown, like the I think it was like the clown theme or like the circus something was the name of the arc. Like the Dream Circus or something. I remember that when they brought Chibiusa, like the focus from the main scouts, other than Sailor Moon, was the focus shifted so dramatically that like Mars, Venus, and Jupiter and Mercury kind of just got left behind. Like they were there, but they didn't really do anything. Which sucked because I mean they're the main, you know, it's like they're, when you think of Sailor Moon, you think of the main five. You don't think of Chibiusa and, you know, Tuxedo Mask. And even then, like Tuxedo Mask, I don't really think he gets any development. I think he's just there to be the boy. Yeah, it was a bummer because they were like super pushing Chibiusa, like, you know, like look at her, she's the character, and like you want her to be, you know, we're gonna merchandise her and like whatever, right? But it was just like, I don't make more Mars stuff. How about that? Though I did like the when because they have the newer ones, the outer scouts. So like Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn. Yes, and I like them. They were cool. The like One of Death, I really like, and then. Yeah, I don't know. Like I thought they were cool because they weren't high schoolers. They were like adults with lives and stuff, but they were still like, they're like, well, we're still you know, like meant to protect, so we're gonna put on the outfits again. Yeah, man, I don't know. Less Chibiusa, more Sailor Venus and Sailor Mars. How about that? I was watching I was on YouTube recently, and as you are, and I was watching a thing about the just because I just reminded me of it was a video of a guy who was like, he's like it was about, I think because I watched like something on Digimon, right? And in the Digimon movie that came out in the States, like I don't know, 2001, 2002, it was basically like a combination of the Japanese movies. It was like 3 of the Japanese movies, but like stitched together to make like one movie. So it was kind of like a Frankenstein thing. And then they added like it had like an American soundtrack in it because they were trying to compete with Pokemon. So they had like, they had like Less Than Jake was on there, and some other stuff. But one of the songs was 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies, and one of the lines in that song is like, I'm gonna get in tune with Sailor Moon because that anime, no, because that cartoon has got the boom anime babes that make me think the wrong thing, something like that. I think I got it pretty close. Oh God, get away from me! And so like the guy who did the video was like, he's like, like I like a lot of the music that I liked, or that I kind of fell in love with. I learned of bands from the Digimon soundtrack because it was such a random collection of songs, and they were like, and also like they weren't just like on the soundtrack, but they were like in the movie, right? Like, and he's like, so many of my like musical likes were informed by this one movie that I saw when I was a kid. And he's like, I wonder if the guy from Bare Naked Ladies knows how like the kind of impact that like that movie had on kids, because it was for a lot of kids, it was like one of the introductions, like one of their first introductions to that kind of music. And so he wrote a tweet, and he's like I don't even know like if the guy would know, one, if what Digimon is, and two, if like he knew like how big of a thing it was, right? And then he mentioned another artist where they basically asked him like, oh, what do you think of this? And he was like, I don't even know what the hell that is. And like he didn't like, he wasn't really like, the music got licensed, but it was just because it's like it's for money. It wasn't like, oh, I know what this thing is. It was literally just like, they're gonna pay me to put this song in the movie, so we're gonna do it. And so it's like, I wonder if that was the same thing for for this band and the song. Am I breaking it? Okay, I am. And so he like basically found his like Twitter account and realized that like he would once in a while like respond to some of the questions that people would put. So he was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So he asked them like, hey, I think he asked something like do you know did you know that like a lot of kids were like informed about your movies or something? Like the movie informed a lot of young kids like musical taste at the time, because they were introduced to your band and several bands like this and during that time. So like, do you know that like people found out about your band through the Digimon movie or something, right? And then he replied something like yes, and I love Digimon. So he was like, okay, cool. So like the guy knows about Digimon, like he knows what Digimon is, and he actually liked the movie. And then he sent him a follow-up tweet, and the guy just like liked it. But he was like, it's so interesting that like because I think of, and I feel like I always go off track when I'm talking, but whoops. But like there's because another scenario would be like Shrek, right? Shrek had Smash Mouth All Star as like the song and like some of the other songs, right? To the point where it's like, when you think of the song, you think of Shrek, and like obviously like they know about it, right? Because it's not like Shrek was this huge cultural thing. The memes continue to this day. I think they're probably still making Shrek movies to this day. And so like that, obviously like they're gonna know. Like, Smash Mouth's gonna know about Shrek. Like, duh, no shit. Like, of course. But I feel like Digimon is different because it's one of those things like, yeah, it still exists, but it's nowhere near as popular as it was before. And even then, it was always like second to Pokemon. Like it never caught on as big as Pokemon. Like they were able to continue it because it was popular enough and stuff, but it was never like, you know, the Pokemon killer that it was intended to be. So like it's a lot more niche. Like if you watch the Digimon movies, they're like it's not like the Pokemon thing where they're just like taking the, you know, it's just like a long episode of Pokemon. Like the Digimon movies are different, and even some of like I think the one about the Day of Greymon, and then the one where they're like online and they have to stop the dude on the internet or something. Like the guy who directed those went on to direct other movies, and some of this stuff like visually is like, it's like, God, what is it? Is it Summer Wars? I'm terrible at these names. Alyssa knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about because she knows who this director is. But like, it was a similar concept with like when he did his movie, and then because a lot of the stuff from the Digimon movie, in terms of like visually and like the stuff, kind of like the topics and like the idea behind it, like it was kind of mimic, or it was like you could see the roots of that movie in the Digimon movie. So it wasn't just like, oh, this is just like this isn't just like a long Digimon episode. It was like, no, this is like they got a director to do it and create his own story, and you know, like just kind of fits somewhere in the timeline, but it's not really relegated to anything. So yeah, it's like if you watch it, it's like you can watch it as an anime movie and not like and by anime movie I mean like a movie like Your Name or Weathering with You, right? Where it's like it's a standalone like anime movie or a film. I don't know whatever you want to call it. I feel like the Digimon movies, the ones that guy directed, also kind of like fit in that realm, where they kind of have that feeling. Whereas like I think of movies like Pokemon movies, like no, those are very much like attached to like you need to know what the show is in order to enjoy these, because else you don't care. Whereas I think the Digimon movies had a little bit thing, whereas like they were interesting on their own. So they're like a lot more niche, I guess. So that's why like him knowing what Digimon was and like the impact the movie had on viewers and like the band, even like the fact that he knew all that was like a huge deal to this like YouTube guy who was like, damn, I can't believe it, and like this is so awesome. And it finally confirms that, you know, like he watched it and he loved it and he knew what it was, so he was validated. I don't know. I don't. Where the hell did this conversation come? I don't know. But I know it's because I'm playing an anime game. Duh. So, yeah. In conclusion, I don't know. I think it's neat. But Sailor Moon is what I should be talking about, because that's what I'm playing. Sailor Moon, dude. This is a completely different game than the one that we played on the arcade one. Because the themes are different. Like the world is completely different. And I think there's a beat 'em up, Sailor Moon beat 'em up for the Super Nintendo as well. I don't know if it's like it's the same game, just like one's on the Genesis and one's on the Super Nintendo, or if they're like actually different games. Because that would happen a lot. Like at the time, it was like, you know, the Genesis and the Super Nintendo were usually the same game. But every once in a while, there were two completely different games, even though they had the same name. So, and I think they used to happen a lot too with like Game Boy and like PlayStation and N64, where like they would have the same name, but they were completely different games. So, yeah, I'm curious to know if this is its own thing, or if it's also like on the Super Nintendo with like slightly better graphics, or I don't know. But I don't know what these creatures are. I don't know why we're in Donut World and Creme de la Creme and everything's giant. I mean, they said it was like, she's like in an amusement park. Dreamland is what it was called. And I guess there's like cream puffs back there, so I guess there is Kirby. There's real life Kirby. He's just a cream puff. Oh, flying jujitsu kick. Okay. Yeah, I think this is where I died last time. I wonder if the other character, I was gonna say units, the other characters have like their own special. Like she's got the flying kick, like the strong flying kick. I wonder if they all have a thing. I also thought that like at the end of the level, it was gonna let me choose somebody else. Since like games of the time, I'm thinking of like Power Rangers and stuff. They let you switch. Also, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I wonder if like Sailor Moon was at all influenced by the Super Sentai, you know, like the Japanese Power Rangers. Because it's a team of 5, and they transform, and there's like a villain of the week. And, you know, they have to like, they're normal people, but they also have to do their like, you know, they have to deal with like things like, oh, we're in school and like we're doing, you know, we're just regular people, but also we're dealing with the fate of the world. And you know what? I'm curious. I'm gonna look into that because I mean, Sentai is like 70s and 80s, and then I think Sailor Moon is like 80s maybe, and then like into the 90s. So I don't know, but I'm curious to know. I'm curious to find out if like there is any like, you know, if this has been said by the creator of Sailor Moon, if there was any kind of, you know, like slight influence of that series, that kind of influence, or, you know, kind of like made its mark on Sailor Moon as a concept. But damn, this is long. Oh. Aha, I found you at last. Time to settle the score. Heh, be my guest. Oh, and you're going to pay dearly for ruining my Sunday. Prepare to fight. Who are you? Farewell, O lonely wanderer who destroys the dreams of lovely maidens. I have 3 hearts. What do the hearts mean? Oh, is that the... Oh, no, is that the boss's health bars? Okay. Maybe. Oh, maybe it is the boss's. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. It is. Oh. Whoa. Okay. E Honda / M Bison / Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Using these sneaky moves. What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh. All right. Last health bar. When he's taking damage, like, and I'm hitting him, I know it's like he's like grunting and like making like his teeth are really big because he's like in pain, but it kind of looked like he had a goofy eye. All right, well, that's it for Sailor Moon. I think it's just called Sailor Moon. I'm gonna have to look up what the Japanese name of it is. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's 2 players. It doesn't seem like it is. It's a bummer. I feel like these games are always more fun with 2 people. But yeah, dude, that's it. Should have probably talked about Sailor Moon more than Digimon, but here we are. Thanks for watching. Oh, a high place suits a pretty girl like me. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Although I kind of feel like I'm in a superhero show. Hee hee hee. All right. Yeah, that was Sailor Moon for the Sega Genesis. It's pretty neat. Maybe you can play 2 players because, like, it looks like you should have one on the other side, and the enemy's health bar shows up below you. So maybe there is. I don't know. Guess we'll never. Well, I guess I could look it up, but I'll look it up on my own time. You look it up on your own time. Bye.